All right, folks, welcome on back here this Wednesday afternoon, May. Tripping over my words already. May 19th, not March, a couple months after that already, at least. Welcome on back here for our afternoon meeting. Good to go alongside the trading room. Great to see Ken, who had actually just left for the day. Phil, Deborah, F, Debbie, Ray, Michael, all of our students live inside the trading room. Of course, if you're joining us on Facebook Live or YouTube, welcome on back. All right, we got class ahead. Phase 1, lesson 4 lined up for this afternoon for all of us that have access inside the trading room later today. But with that, we got a lot to jump to. And to begin, I got to start with Bitcoin. So really, get the chart up to begin. I can't take too long on this like I just said. But I like to show the good. And if I like to show the good, I got to show the ugly. I can't believe that this ended up dropping as low as it did today, down to 30 flat. $30,000 flat on Binance Exchange, ended up squeezing back up from there. If you've been listening to me over the last couple of weeks, really at this point, even when it didn't really make the drop at first, I was forewarning for a drop down towards like 43, 42. I lowered that down between 41 to 42 over the last week. So as it was coming down here, I wasn't really too shaken by this drop. And I even said, hey, if I'm wrong with this, which there's a great chance I would be, I didn't think I'd be wrong as I was. I don't think many people at all expected Bitcoin to drop even under 35,000 this morning. I don't think anyone really expected the news to come out regarding, I think it was the China government putting a warning on crypto-related services, I think. Let me just get the full snippet here. The People's Bank of China issued a statement on Tuesday cautioning against the use of cryptocurrencies as a means of payment, despite the fact that Chinese officials were merely reiterating their previous stance on trading virtual currencies. The news seemed to deepen the existing sentiment of the market-wide fear. Yeah, you'd say so. So that's what led to this massive sell-off. I mean, at least going into overnight, and then, of course, trickling into this morning. I ended up adding more overnight yesterday, just under 41. I thought I was good to go there, even with a bit of slippage. I figured we'd be back up pretty close going into the morning, but ended up seeing a big drop after that. I ended up saving a portion of my position, and this is risky. This I don't recommend really many to do, unless if you're already up a large percentage, comparative to when you first started jumping into crypto. Myself, my first buy on crypto was back from April of last year, April or May. And then I started going deeper into June and July and August. And after that, I stopped really adding for quite a while. I added here and there, and just most recently yesterday, I ended up actually taking a very small amount of my stake, and I ended up putting it actually into a triple leveraged token for Bitcoin. I ended up doing that a little bit after it ended up bouncing off of 1030. So it's not on the Binance exchange. I have it through another exchange called KuCoin, KuCoin. Ended up getting in as it was like blasting through 33, 34 here. And it's a triple leveraged token. So it's to say I have real confidence of this bounce from this point here. If I'm wrong, well, I'll be down a little bit from that point, right? I'll still be up in total from where I'm at or from where I started back from last year. I want to bring this up, not to talk about me. But hey, I've been talking about crypto for the last, well, not year, I'd say probably for the last 10 months, I've been talking about it publicly during this meeting. If you've been tuning in over the last couple of months, hearing my confidence, my bullishness across the next year, next many years really, but you may have been jumping in. Well, to see this drop off here, hey, I'm in the same boat as you folks here in terms of this drop. I'm expecting a move back up very shortly, but we'll take it day by day, right? For right now, at least, let's just jump to the hourly chart. I do like to show the hourly more, the 6 hour. So at least for here, you're going to see some pullback. We're not out of the doghouse just yet. I don't think it's going to squeeze back up that fast. I told you folks this time last week, it's going to go one of two ways. It's going to be either a slow grind back up or back down. I didn't think we were going to get this drop, though. So, again, I think that day by day, we'll begin to see this hold higher lows, begin to make a better pop over time soon enough. Again, we'll see. All right, so with that in mind, I guess we'll just check in on Mara, Riot, Cannon, the other, Bitcoin blockchain related, companies. So Mara ended up making a nice squeeze after the market opened up today, for as down as that was. Ended up moving up with the SPY. You could say the markets altogether ended up moving up, and a lot of stocks ended up following the Dow and the S&P. You could see just after the Fed minutes meeting, as the SPY was shaking around quite a bit, Mara started to break off of 21. I was fortunate here. I ended up looking for the short. I actually forgot about the minutes meeting. Actually, the second I got into the trade, I didn't have that in mind. And then I looked at the SPY. I'm like, geez, that was pretty stupid to do, honestly. Any sort of trade right after the Fed meeting, I just like to wait to see the smoke and dust clear. Fortunately, I waited for the pop and I went short as it broke back below it, and it paid off. But yeah, for right now, I mean, given the volatility altogether on Mara and then Riot, Canon, etc., I don't mind putting these on our main list just to begin. If Bitcoin does make a squeeze back up, then I'd imagine these to move up higher. So it could be interesting to follow Riot and Mara and Canon, like I'd said. Jeff asking inside the chat room here, yeah, but why give it back? Oh, I'm not selling, Jeff. I'm not selling my Bitcoin at all. I'm just mentioning in terms of the drop, if people panic sell, that's very understandable. I mean, I did that back in 2017. I mean, back in 2017 with Bitcoin, that became more mainstream at the end of its bull market. So everyone got trapped off the highs there, myself included, got killed. At this point now, you live and you learn. So yeah, I'm still extremely bullish on all of these, Bitcoin in particular. I mean, Bitcoin crypto, Bitcoin, Cardano, Litecoin, Ethereum, all of that I'm super bullish on long term. So, day by day. All right, so we'll put these on our side list for right now. Maybe Mara will make the main cut. I do like trading Mara a bit more. It seems like it has a bit more volatility to it compared to Riot even. We'll go from top to bottom, see what else we got. MOSY leading the gainers list here, up 37+%. Ended up making like a really sharp move up early on today. We talked about this inside the phase 1 course, talking about best and worst times of the day to trade. So, to see this stock accelerate as fast as it did going into 10:15, 10:30, what typically happens around 10:30? Reversal time. So it ended up dumping off shortly even before that, but really hasn't gone much of anywhere since. Trading within this range, of course, between like 480-ish and like 540, but hasn't ended up making that big move back up like we would want it to. So it seems volatile enough, but for right now, I'll kind of pass on this. If it ends up making a big pop as we go through, then I'll definitely reconsider. LLIT ended up trading this stock. I mean, you could see from the daily chart back from what appears to be like February here on this massive squeeze up and down. But I feel like more recently we ended up trading the stock. It was probably just after us calling out the dump off here, maybe expecting a dead cat bounce after. Ended up making another pop here today off of, I mean, my guess would be some sort of news. But for right now, it's just trading too sideways. Big spread here at points. Not worth it. ADXS, cheapy, ended up making a nice move today, at least in pre-market going into the open. The shoes got to fit here. A little too pricey, a little too inexpensive. This one too sideways. I mean, we got to find Cinderella here. Let's see what's up with this AEHR trade. It's at the highs, I guess. A little spotty of a chart. Rail, former runner from yesterday. Oh, no, I'm thinking Ride. Rail, we ended up trading too. Ride, that was the one I was thinking of. Rail ended up making a nice move up earlier today. Ended up dumping off, though, of course, like right after noontime. So pass on this. Let me just jump to Ride while I'm at it. RIDE. This was the one I was thinking about. Ended up making a nice squeeze, kind of the same move. This ended up making a big move back from yesterday, from the afternoon, actually back from Monday of this week. With the S&P, down big in pre-market, UVXY ended up moving up pretty nicely going into the open, ended up popping, dropping, making kind of the inverse move as the SPY, as you could see there. I don't mind, I guess, slipping the ETFs on there, just given overall market volatility for the day. All right, at least this one's close to the highs. This one's cheap. It's not too cheap, but good spreads, nice liquidity on the book. Finally, at least one that we'll put on our main list, the ARPO stock. Pretty slow, but we ended up following this dating back to Monday this week, ended up making a higher high, of course, from yesterday, and right back at it again today. So I don't mind starting off with putting this on our list. VVPR, oof, ugly. I took my eyes off this for a bit, so I was kind of excited just to see where it would be heading into this afternoon. And just totally dumped back down. A little bit of a squeak back up for right now, I guess, trying to show off. Look at this thing go right now, right in front of us here. From 730 all the way to 775, 780. Oh, maybe it's trying to prove me wrong here. All right, I'll write it down, come back to it. Not really gaining my trust just yet. Let's see what else we got here on the gainer side here. Whole bunch of ETFs. Probably reload here in a second. You got SEAL, SEEL, ended up taking a huge hit from earlier this week. Maybe a little dead cat bounce here. A little slow. All right. What else we got? HIMS, HIMS, a runner from Monday, I thought it was. Ended up closing near the highs. Oh, no. Ended up making a run. Ended up dumping off, I guess, after. But ended up moving back up again today. Dumped back down. Trying to make a bit of a rounded bottom, seemingly off of 1060, 1062, you can call it. Moving back up. It just seems like it can be a bit of a move, but right now just trading pretty light volume per minute, about 3,000 to 4,000 shares per minute. That's pretty low. All right, so you know what? I'd imagine there'd be more on the loser side anyway. Obviously, you see Canon here, number 9. Mara and Riot are right there as well. Let's just go from top to bottom here. Got this crazy symbol. What the hell is this? JZXN. Try saying that 3 times fast. Ended up dropping off. I mean, I guess this is a new ticker, new IPO, or new direct listing. Either way, yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about it. For right now, we're going to pass. All right, so the IOVA trade, I remember Leda called out going into the late morning, early afternoon. Fantastic call from her. I saw her pick up some money on the short. I saw Gene pick up some money on the dead cat bounce after from 17. IOVA, the news out on this. Shares trading lower after the company provided a regulatory update for a word that's above my pay grade, potency assays or whatever. Following the update, and this is the more important note, following the update, the company CEO resigned. So, yeah, I mean, doesn't sound too good, right? Ended up leading to a steep drop-off going into the late morning, early afternoon. It's hard to borrow on TradeStation. If you're on a different broker, maybe you can get the shares to short it. I don't mind slipping this on our list just near the lows of the day here. If I can't short it, doesn't mean I'm not going to put it on our list. I'll put it on our list for anyone that can, right? Down big. Kind of flat now, but we'll look to see this break down later on today, perhaps. All right. Let's see what else we got. Oh, another Bitcoin stock, BTBT. This one doesn't really trade too much liquidity compared to the others. It's at the lows. It's shortable. Spread is pretty well contained today, actually. All right, I don't mind it. BTBT. I meant to click Canon here. This one's taking a hit too, PASJ. Canon at the low of the day right now. It's been grinding on lower here so far. Maybe this isn't moving as well compared to Mara or Riot, or they're not holding up as well to their highs, I reckon. I guess Mara and Riot may be moving more with the S&P or just the major indices compared to Canon. And certainly BTBT, probably the E-bond stock too. You know what? Hey, they're kind of moving together here. Canon, BTBT, both the lows, both shortable. Here's our E-bond stock, probably making the same move. Just pretty flat. All right, a couple of other familiar names here on the loser side here, folks. VIPS, I thought this was off of earnings. Alcoa Corp. Ooh, at the low of the day right now. Nice move on Alcoa on the way down. I would imagine big support to be off of 35.50. If Ron W., one of our students, is listening to this meeting, is probably pretty happy with seeing this AA trade down. He's probably short. For right now, definitely Alcoa. Definitely a good stock to watch here so far. Alcoa shares trading lower on above average volume. Equities across sectors are selling, blah, blah, blah. Not much really company specific wise on this trade, but hey, we'll take it as a short on the way down. All right, I'll tell you, that's it across the loser side, folks. We already got to Mara and Riot at least. Keep them on the side. If you do well on those stocks day to day, then I'm sure that you're going to have a focus on it yourself. Got one of us on YouTube saying today's momentous. It is probably the single worst losing day that they've had as a trader. I'm sorry to hear that. I took a bit of a trim in my profits / net worth, I guess you can call it, on cryptocurrency from today. Thankfully, Bitcoin did squeeze back up quite sharply off 30,000. So hopefully the worst has already happened, and hopefully we're right back on our way back up over time. But I think everybody had a nice healthy dose of pain today, right? I feel, unless if you were short, then obviously you're a big winner. But in terms of swing trading investments, yeah, it was pretty bloody out there. All right, folks. So with that in mind, let me know if there's anything else up, down, left, right, more than like 5% that you would want me to look at here before we sign off. Got a ping on DUST, DUST, inverse gold mining ETF, bearish gold mining, I should say. So DUST is at the highs of the day here. Looks like the SPY might be beginning to pull back a bit more. Hasn't really broken lower just yet, but after the minutes meeting ended, it squeaked up, slammed back down a bit. So I feel like that could lead to continuation here heading into the next hour and 15. NEM taking a hit with that in mind. Newmont mining, gold mining, equity. Sand to the low of the day. Unless if you're following dust or metals, really, I should say, just generally, like, I don't think there's much else. This is a mess, Neo. F-Cell. That's it, folks. Not a whole lot really to write home about otherwise. Let me just check back in on a few stocks before we sign off. The ones that I said we're going to put on the side. Mara, good side list stock still. Maybe if that can make the break over 21 later on, if the markets move back up, that moves back over 21. Perhaps that could be a play. MOSY seems to be the most active out of the ones on the side. This one looks like crap. I don't know. Oh, this is the one that I said. I was like, oh man, this thing is trying to show off in front of us. And then I said, you know what? I don't trust this yet. I said I'd come back to it. It's like, why did I even put this on the side list, right? And got our guy Mitch on YouTube saying T at the low of the day. Yeah, but I feel like that's dropped off so much. How much more is it going to move across the next hour and 15? What I mean by that is, of course, tomorrow and the following, parts of this week, this might just keep dropping, but it's been kind of just taking its sweet time here. It's a good stock to trade, good side list stock, Mitch. Doesn't have a whole lot of volatility to it just yet. I'm going to put Canon and BTBT on the list because those are a bit even, cheaper and slow too. So more like level 1, level 2 in that sense. U1 Norman's calling out here at the bell. Nice squeeze up 11%, trading under 1 million shares, but still enough for us to consider at this time of the day. Good spread for right now. Good liquidity on the book for right now. Don't mind it. I don't mind putting this on our list here, Norman. Good call on the U1 for the meantime. If it doesn't pop, I'm going to blame you, though. I'm kidding. I'm teasing. That's why I brought that up, folks, for all of us live inside the trading room. Like earlier this week, I was like, hey, we don't control these stocks that we call out. Hey, if we call it out, it should be because of a good reason. Just like Norman said, hey, U1, it's at the highs, up 11, 12%, good spread, good liquidity. We don't control this stock. We have to react to what it does. So if it ends up dudding off from here, we'll try and move away from it pretty fast if that happens. Don't want to watch the grass grow, watch the paint dry when there are other opportunities to trade going into the afternoon. All right, folks. So with that in mind, in total, we got 2, 4, 6, and I'm going to tag MOSY on as the 7th. So 7 stocks to work with heading into this Wednesday afternoon for all of us on social media. If you haven't checked out our Traders Talk workshop on our YouTube stream, or on our YouTube page now, rather, at this point, make sure that you do that. That's on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/cybertradingu. Probably one of our most recently updated videos. That was our weekly workshop that we did live for you folks just yesterday. So we try and do that a couple times a year. That's on our YouTube page now. All right. Aside from that, feel free to join us inside our live trading room just by going down to the link on the banner below just to get started. For all of us there, I'm going to post and tweet the picks. For all of us there, I'm going to copy and paste the link for class coming up pretty shortly thereafter. I look forward to seeing you all there. Take care.